One of the things on the list you want to do when dealing with a crisis like this, and when I say crisis, I hate using a word like the word crisis because it's been used so much and so often. But in this situation, when we're actually talking about the whole country and the whole world pulling on resources immediately, and everyone is hoarding in one way or another, a lot of people are going to be concerned about the people outside their home and the people they don't know and even their neighbors and things like that. But I wanted to also point out something in consideration is the people in your home, or the energies in your home, your kids, your wife, your daughters, maybe you're living with relatives. Normally, you're not around them very often. And so you learn to deal with their energies based upon how they come just because it is what it is. Can't do anything about it. Although in this situation, because of the way how everything's going on convincing people that quarantine's the best option and limited travel and all these other things, some of the things to take consideration are the people you're living with. What are the energies going to be like? The house is set up initially, everyone groups together around the TV because you see each other only a few hours, dinner and other stuff. So if you know you could be running into long-term issues, maybe with your wife, your relatives, you might want to change a few things around. So one of the things I'm doing is I have my room all the way on the other side of the house. It's a great spot, and I actually am living with me and my ex-wife chose to live together, work things out, at least keep the kids kind of going. And so I have a nice little spot over here right in front. But the thing about it is there's no internet, and I depend on the internet for work. So normally I can manage doing my work without the internet, and then when I need it, I come actually all the way to the other side of the house, and I come over here in the center of all the energy and I do my computer work, and then I retreat back to my place. That's not going to work. I'm going to be here at the house constantly. I'm going to be needing the internet constantly, and the majority of the time when I work actually in the center when no one's here at the house, everyone's going to be here. So that will not work. And so one of the best things to do is to start to shift around things that in the home that that could be in a better position. So maybe you are having conflicts with people. You're going to need to see them as much, and I'm not saying that you hate them or anything. I'm just saying that you might need to shift a few things around in the house so that you can keep a healthy environment, because it can get just as hostile with a if not more and more frequent with a person that you know and that you claim to love or you are in a relationship than with a stranger. A stranger, maybe someone comes into the house and tries to rob you once, twice, 3 times maybe. Who knows how crazy it might get. But the person that lives at your house, they know where the knives are at. They know where the baseball bat's at. They could just lose it one day and attack you, and it's called a domestic dispute. And because the resources are going to be limited through the strain on the entire resources, even police officers aren't going to probably want to touch people just because of the hysteria and panic. And it doesn't matter if it's your mom or your wife or your ex-wife or your girlfriend. People at some point they want to begin to nitpick, and it's nothing. It is what it is. It's just people. It's just people. I think in some level always want to improve their environment or make things better, and they just get an idea in their mind and they take action. Versus taking into consideration what other people are going through and their mental state. And we're not normally around our own family. We're on the road for 30 minutes to an hour driving for whatever reason, maybe even 2 hours, going to work, coming to work, paying bills, errands, shopping, whatever on a daily basis. Then 8 hours at work if you have a job. So that's 10 hours. You're asleep for 10 hours. You watch a movie for 2 hours. So how much real interaction do you have with your actual family? And when you begin to interact and are just stuffed together, it's much easier for problems to arise in the household and problems and arguments to arise. So one of the best things you could possibly do is just shift things around in the house. Like what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the internet closer to the house. I'm going to move it from one side of the house to the other side of the house. It's closer to me, so I can stay in my room. Who knows the types of things that can arise that irritates people. And over the years, you've built things to get out of the house or get away from that energy. You've created friends, whatever you've done to get out of the house, work in the garden. You might not have that option right now. And so What I'm just trying to say is be creative, be thoughtful. There's someone, whoever's listening to this video is thoughtful. You've taken the time to listen all the way to this point. Write a list down, 2, 3, 4 things of what you can do immediately to just alleviate the tension in the house within the energies, and take a little more time to take into consideration what's going to be happening on a daily basis in your environment. Because if you've already prepared for a possible stranger to come into your home, weapons training, a bat, knives, you taught your family what to do, run away, whatever that is, if you've already taken care of that part, then a lot of people will spend a lot of time on outward energy versus inward. It is what it is. Then now start to spend the time on the inside. What can you do internally? Of course, a lot of people are probably thinking, well, you should fix your problems with your ex-wife. Listen, if the problems could have been fixed with your parents, with your ex-wife, with your brothers, your sisters, your nephews, your nieces, anyone living in your immediate environment, they would have been. And for me to think that we're instantly going to change our habits and become healthy people in a mass hysteria situation, I'm kidding myself. That's delusion. That's cognitive dissonance. So this is one of the steps needed to survive the first 180 days of mass hysteria. This was helpful, and I'm looking forward to getting you the next tips and tricks you'll need to survive on the first 180 days of mass hysteria. Have a great day. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment on the video.